You know, as we go into the new year, there is always a New Year's resolutions and expectations and kind of wants. But in a real manner, what do you want is a question that is one that doesn't really get assessed or analyzed or considered, because we kind of move through time and we move through assumptions about this is what I'm all about, this is what I want, this is what life is. But when you start to get into a place of this shift of consciousness, what do I want becomes really an interesting question.
And it's probably one of the most important questions, because as we move from the third to the fifth dimension, what we put our attention on will more quickly come to us. And so if we're not discerning about where our attention is and what we want, then we're just going to get garbage.
Well, we're going to get more of the same, and at the same time, more of the same isn't consistent, convenient, and undisturbed. So more of the same is really what the whole shift is about, change. And you look at the governmental structures all talking about getting rid of what was to bring about something else. So in an individual level, the question really is, what do I want? Now, to kind of frame that in a manner when you get very quiet and very present and conscious in your awareness, just standing right here, being aware of being here. In that space, 95+% of what's going on outside and around you has nothing to do with you. So we get consumed by the aura of all of the motion.
Right.
But what do you want really begins to be a very different question.
One of the things I'm noticing too is that I'm hearing from students and people who are not even involved with us saying, I used to be passionate about something, and now I am not. It's not like I'm complacent. I'm just, there's not a drive. There's not that same passion. And I've noticed that with myself through life, where there was a period of time where gemstones were my thing. It was everything I saw in life was through that filter, and also collecting skulls and bones. And so there was that period, and then I passed through it, and it's like it never existed. It was there. That passion is not there. And people are expressing similar things. They used to be passionate about cooking, and now I'm not. But there's nothing that's replaced that for them.
So in a simple pass-through life manner, things come and go, and things come and go. But in this situation, where this shift of consciousness is unfolding, you are losing your reference points. And so many of your wants, beliefs, thoughts, goals, dreams, they're falling away. You're losing them. Many of those were not yours in the first place. They were the mom, dad, teacher, minister who said, you will be, and this is what makes life work. And we all go, okay.
Right.
And so you're losing a lot of those reference points. So, and some people say, my life's getting boring. Well, it's not really getting boring. You just are losing reference points. The subtlety of what is happening, kind of the dawning of a new day, isn't defining new reference points clearly for you as yet. It's not like I want to get rid of my old car and voila, there's a new car. It's not happening like that. So the question of what do I want becomes more specific. How do I wish to choose and create and engage in my life? Most of us seem to just go along with life. We assume the next day is going to come. Most likely it is going to come. But is it going to come on your terms? And so this question, what do I want, isn't really a material question. It's not a new car, a new house. Oh, it could be. But it really is, how would I like to experience my life? That's the shifting question that's happening. How do I wish to experience it in the context of well-being and beauty and graciousness and kindness and people that I engage with from a place that I enjoy laughing with? Those are choices. Those aren't accidental things that you fall into.
About a year ago, I went through that place where I was asking myself, what do I want? And a trick that I found really worked is by the computer, I just had a Post-it and I would write down things that I like. So I like watching the birds outside. I like doing this. I like being organized. I had a list of 10 things. And what I found is that strategy, I kept it right there next to my computer and I would glance at it. And it's like when I would look at those things, I would go, ah. And so I created that place of well-being simply by writing down the things I like.
What you want. Yeah.
What I want.
And you put bird feeders outside the office window,
Right.
and those kind of things. I think that's a strategy that has a lot of value. I think one of the things that many people do when we talk about what do we want, we talk about what we don't want.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't want this. You know, I mean, you ask the question, what do you want? Well, I don't want this, I don't want this. Well, no, that wasn't the question.
Mm-hmm.
But the nature of who we are has gotten to the point of talking about what we don't want, not what we do want. So this is a real important question because it brings you into present time.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as being aware of what I don't want, I found for me years ago it was easier for me to identify what I didn't want in my life, kind of like the process of elimination. And it wasn't a focusing on, no, I really don't want this to happen. It was just identifying, it just helped kind of process of elimination, identify what, if I know what I don't want, then I can look at what I do want.
Right. So
It wasn't
so
a negative thing.
No, that's a strategy. That's a I don't want these things and I do want these things. So
It's
you begin
like-
to sort through this.
Yeah.
But what we do is we have these unconscious habits and beliefs and thoughts that basically say, I don't like, I don't want, I do wish to be disengaged from. And so we separate ourselves out from life in a lot of ways. And we make that kind of an unconscious behavior pattern. And if you listen to conversations between people, the conversation is about other people doing things that they didn't do it right, or
Right.
I don't like what they did. It's predominant in the conversations. And so again, that's not what I do want, that's what I don't want.
Right.
And so the habit of just engaging with the no, I don't want, no, I don't like, they're bad, they're not okay, that becomes a very consuming energetic pattern in the body that ages you.
Yeah.
So going into this next year, the question of what do I want? How do I wish to engage in my life? What would I like to experience? Where would I like to experience myself? Is a conscious, intentional set of choices that we each are being asked to make. Because the noise is going to get a lot louder. And the distractions and the fears in the external world are going to get a lot louder. And they have very, very little to do with you. So getting clear about who am I? How do I wish to experience myself? What do I want by choice and by intention is really going to become something that is necessary to create a sanity in and an evolution of your experience.
Yeah. Important.
So it's going to be a very interesting year with lots of opportunities, and starting it from how would I like to experience this? What would I like in my life is something that is going to be a very good starting point, I think.
Very good.
So happy New Year and life.